Welcome back to Finance Manager. Today, we're climbing every level of the family office, from trust fund kid to empire architect together. Before we begin, subscribe and click the bell so you never miss fascinating stories about wealth, business, and investing.
Imagine inheriting millions of dollars. Sounds like the finish line, but for many families, that's only the beginning.
I've always had everything. I never wondered where it all came from.
That comfortable beginning is called Level 1, the trust fund stage, where wealth exists before responsibility truly arrives.
Money alone rarely creates lasting wealth. Systems, education, discipline, and vision make fortunes survive for generations.
Some heirs preserve fortunes brilliantly, while others lose everything within a single generation. The difference isn't luck, it's preparation.
History is filled with wealthy families that disappeared because money outlived wisdom. Wealth without education is surprisingly fragile.
I thought my family's money would always be there. I never imagined it could disappear.
Every great family office begins by teaching one simple lesson. Wealth is a responsibility, not just a privilege.
Behind every billionaire family is usually an invisible team quietly protecting assets, managing risks, and planning decades into the future.
That invisible team is called a family office, and today we're climbing every level inside that fascinating world.
Think of it as leveling up inside a game, except every decision affects businesses, investments, charities, and future generations.
So inheriting money isn't really the end of the story? Well, not quite. There are complexities we need to discuss.
Not even close. It's simply level 1, where learning begins before real responsibility arrives.
The next level belongs to people who build wealth themselves instead of inheriting it. That's where our journey becomes even more exciting.
Meet someone who started with nothing but ambition, determination, and an idea powerful enough to change their future.
In the next chapter, we'll discover how wealth builders transform hard work into lasting financial freedom. Let's move to Level 2. Level 2 begins where inherited wealth ends. Here, every dollar must first be earned before it can ever be invested. Nobody handed me success. Every opportunity came from showing up every single day.
Most self-made entrepreneurs don't start with millions. They begin with skills, persistence, and countless small decisions made consistently.
At this level, income comes from effort. The goal is transforming active work into long-term financial assets. I stopped thinking about earning more money and started thinking about owning valuable assets instead.
That's the moment wealth builders begin separating themselves from lifelong employees. Ownership changes everything.
Employees earn salaries, but owners build assets that can keep producing income long after today's work is finished. Every paycheck bought another small investment. Tiny decisions slowly became a completely different future.
Real wealth rarely arrives overnight. It usually grows quietly through years of disciplined investing and patient decision-making.
The biggest shift happens when your investments begin earning more than your regular salary ever could. My first employee wasn't just help. It was the beginning of building something bigger than myself.
Businesses become powerful because they create value repeatedly, even while their owners focus on building the next opportunity.
At Level 2, you're no longer just working for money. You're teaching money how to work for you.
Eventually, successful entrepreneurs discover another challenge. Building wealth is one thing, protecting it is something entirely different.
Growing my company changed my life. Protecting everything I'd built became my next mission. That's exactly why many entrepreneurs eventually create their own family office, to preserve, organize, and multiply everything they've earned.
The journey from entrepreneur to empire doesn't happen through bigger paychecks. It happens through better systems and smarter decisions.
Next, we'll step into Level 3, where successful entrepreneurs evolve into true business owners and architects of lasting financial empires. Level 3 begins when you stop thinking like a founder and start thinking like the owner of an expanding financial ecosystem.
Most successful entrepreneurs eventually discover one business is rarely enough to create lasting generational wealth.
Running one company made me successful. Owning several businesses completely changed how I thought about wealth. Business owners eventually realize their greatest asset isn't revenue. It's ownership across multiple independent sources of income.
Diversification protects fortunes because no single investment, company, or industry can determine your entire financial future.
Instead of asking what I should earn next, I started asking what I should own next. That's the moment entrepreneurs become asset builders, creating systems that continue producing value every single day.
As wealth grows, complexity grows too. Managing everything alone quickly becomes impossible, even for extraordinary entrepreneurs.
And that's exactly why the world's wealthiest families stop managing everything themselves and start building expert teams.
No billionaire personally manages every investment, contract, meeting, and opportunity. Delegation becomes the ultimate growth strategy.
The best decision I ever made wasn't working harder, it was hiring people who were smarter than me. Building wealth creates freedom. Building the right team creates scalability, resilience, and opportunities far beyond one person's limits.
Eventually, businesses begin operating successfully, even when their founders are no longer involved in every daily decision.
Now I spend less time managing businesses and more time deciding where the next opportunity will come from. Congratulations! You're no longer just building a company, you're building an ecosystem designed to outlive its founder.
But greater wealth attracts greater complexity. Taxes, governance, succession, and investments now require professional coordination.
That moment marks the birth of something extraordinary, a professional family office dedicated to protecting an entire financial legacy. In the next chapter, we'll walk inside a real family office and discover how the world's richest families protect wealth for generations. Welcome to Level 4, where successful families stop managing wealth alone and begin relying on world-class professionals.
A professional family office works like the headquarters of a global company, except the product is preserving a family's legacy.
Every investment we make today is carefully designed to protect this family 50 years from now.
Unlike ordinary financial advisors, family offices coordinate every important decision under one carefully designed strategy. Protecting wealth isn't only about earning more. It's about avoiding costly mistakes before they ever happen.
Every expert handles a different challenge, but together they create one unified financial strategy for future generations.
Every dollar saved through smart planning becomes another dollar working for future generations instead of unnecessary expenses.
The goal isn't avoiding taxes. It's creating an efficient structure that follows the law while preserving long-term wealth. Our responsibility is making sure the family's financial resources remain secure, liquid, and ready whenever opportunities appear.
Investment experts grow wealth, lawyers protect ownership, bankers provide liquidity, and tax specialists improve efficiency through careful planning.
Together, these professionals become the invisible engine, quietly protecting fortunes, while families focus on living meaningful lives.
We invest for growth.
And we protect every achievement through careful legal planning.
As fortunes expand across countries, businesses, and generations, coordination becomes just as valuable as the assets themselves.
Eventually, another question becomes more important than making money. Who will successfully lead the family after today's generation?
Succession planning may be the single most important responsibility inside every successful family office.
Great families don't simply transfer money. They transfer knowledge, values, responsibility, and a clear long-term vision.
When a family's mission becomes stronger than any individual member, true generational wealth finally begins taking shape.
Next, we'll discover how legendary families preserve their fortunes across generations through stewardship instead of simple ownership. Level 5 is where wealth stops being measured by money alone and starts being measured by the future it creates.
The greatest family offices understand that fortunes disappear when values fail to survive from one generation to the next.
We never taught our grandchildren how rich they were. We taught them why responsibility always comes before privilege.
Stewardship means viewing yourself as a temporary guardian of wealth instead of its permanent owner.
Every generation inherits more than financial assets. They inherit culture, discipline, relationships, and a shared purpose.
Families that survive centuries usually spend as much time educating heirs as they do growing investments. Before receiving ownership, every family member first learned service, humility, and the responsibility of leadership.
For these families, philanthropy isn't separate from wealth. It's one of the reasons wealth continues earning trust across generations.
Many enduring family offices create a family constitution that explains not only who owns wealth, but why it exists.
These principles become a guide whenever future generations face difficult business decisions or unexpected challenges.
Our greatest achievement wasn't becoming wealthy. It was helping every generation understand why that wealth should serve others. Notice how every new generation inherits greater opportunity, but also greater responsibility than the one before.
Successful family offices prepare children for wealth decades before they ever receive meaningful financial responsibility.
Money may be inherited overnight, but wisdom usually takes decades to develop through experience, mentoring, and thoughtful guidance. One day, this legacy won't belong to me. My responsibility is leaving it stronger than I found it.
Families that think in centuries invest differently than families focused only on the next financial quarter.
By now, we've moved beyond simply creating wealth. We're building a legacy designed to benefit people we've never even met. Next, we'll enter level 6, where family offices evolve into global dynasties shaping industries, innovation, and the future itself. Level 6 begins when a family's influence extends far beyond wealth and starts shaping industries, innovation, and entire economies.
The world's largest family offices often think in decades instead of quarters, investing patiently where others hesitate.
At this level, capital becomes more than money. It becomes a tool for solving problems on a global scale.
Instead of simply buying successful companies, visionary families often help build entirely new industries from the ground up.
Our greatest investments aren't measured only by profits. They're measured by the opportunities they create for future generations.
Families at this level become architects of opportunity, helping entrepreneurs, scientists, and innovators build tomorrow's breakthroughs.
True influence isn't about controlling the future. It's about creating conditions where the future can flourish for everyone.
By now, wealth has become a platform for innovation, education, sustainability, and long-term human progress across generations.
The strongest financial empires aren't built around one remarkable leader. They're built around remarkable systems that continue working independently.
Systems create consistency. Consistency creates resilience. And resilience allows a family's vision to survive changing times.
Every successful investment fits into a much larger mission that stretches decades beyond today's market conditions.
Patient capital often succeeds because it gives bold ideas enough time to mature into extraordinary achievements.
The world's greatest family offices rarely chase headlines. They quietly focus on building lasting value year after year.
Their influence appears in stronger companies, healthier communities, groundbreaking discoveries, and opportunities created for countless people.
By this stage, wealth becomes a responsibility measured by the positive impact left behind, not simply financial returns. A true legacy grows stronger with every generation. Our responsibility is making sure the next generation starts even farther ahead.
Only one level remains. It's where visionary leaders stop managing wealth and begin designing systems that may outlast centuries.
Next, we'll reach the highest level of all, the empire architect, where families design legacies intended to inspire generations they will never meet. Welcome to the highest level, where wealth becomes a blueprint for a future that stretches far beyond one lifetime.
Empire architects rarely ask how much wealth they can accumulate. They ask what kind of world they want to help build.
Their greatest investments often aren't companies. They're institutions capable of serving society for generations.
Instead of reacting to the future, These Hispanic families actively help shape it through patient leadership and thoughtful investment.
Success isn't measured by what we own today. It's measured by what still benefits people long after we're gone. The empire architect doesn't simply transfer wealth. They design systems that keep creating value for centuries.
Every generation receives the freedom to innovate while honoring the values that built the legacy in the first place.
At this final level, legacy becomes the true return on investment, and time becomes the greatest competitive advantage. Now let's look back at the journey we've taken, because every level played an important role in reaching this point.
I thought wealth was something you inherited. Now I understand, it's something you must learn to protect and grow.
Building wealth was only the beginning. Building systems proved to be the real challenge.
Good investments create returns. Great investments create opportunities that continue multiplying for decades.
The greatest inheritance isn't money. It's preparing people to use that money with wisdom and compassion. Every person we've met represents a different stage of the journey, from inheriting wealth to building institutions that can outlive us all.
No matter where you are today, every empire begins with a single decision to think beyond the present.
Whether your goal is financial independence, entrepreneurship, or building a family office, the principles remain remarkably similar.
Your future isn't determined by the wealth you start with. It's shaped by the systems, habits, and decisions you build over time. In our final chapter, we'll leave you with one powerful idea that can completely change the way you think about wealth, legacy, and the future. We've climbed every level of the family office journey, but the biggest lesson isn't about becoming richer. It's about becoming a better steward of opportunity.
Every extraordinary legacy begins with ordinary decisions made consistently over many years.
Whether you're managing a few $1,000s or billions, the principles of patience, discipline, and long-term thinking remain the same.
Real wealth isn't measured by what stays in your bank account. It's measured by the positive impact your decisions create for others.
The families we admire most didn't build their legacies overnight. They built them one thoughtful decision at a time.
Essential.
I believe in your potential. Our company is set to launch.
The numbers are strong.
And then the princess lived happily ever after.
And remember, every empire that changed the world once started with someone willing to think differently. If this video changed the way you think about wealth, share it with someone who's building their own future. Leave a comment below and tell us which level surprised you the most. And if you enjoyed documentaries that make finance simple, you're gonna love what's coming next. Don't forget to subscribe to Finance Manager for more stories about business, investing, wealth, and the world's biggest financial ideas. Click the bell icon so you never miss our next documentary. Thank you for spending your time Thank you for spending your time with us today. Keep learning. Keep investing in yourself. And keep building a future worth leaving behind.